everyone, welcome back. I'm Moose and let's get into today's video. Why being bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Is perfectly okay. And I know that's kind of a weird topic, but yeah, let's go with it because I think it's kind of important, right? We spend so much time talking about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And the best decks to play and the worst decks to play and how to build this evolving meta, but specifically in the context of Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, Master Duel now coming out, I thought it was time to make a video on why it's okay to be bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! And why that's not necessarily a bad thing. So let's get into it. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment telling me what do you think of my take here today, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. So let's get into the video. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game that, I grew up with, a lot of people grew up with, and it's a really fun game to play, whether you are in LOB format, or playing Burst of Destiny, or playing Master Duel, or whatever it is. It's a lot of fun, right? And a lot of what we talk about is how to be competitive, what the best decks are, how to, do your best at tournaments and all those kind of things. That's not what we're talking about today. But if you are a competitive player, stay tuned, keep watching, because I think this video could be good for everybody, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an incredibly competitive game. We know tier 1 decks are above everything else, they work out really well, competitive staples are a thing. Master Duel's made all that more accessible now through the crafting system and through the gems and everything like that, and it looks like there's going to be a bright future for Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. But let's talk about being bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Just not knowing what to do, not really being a competitive player. Even if you're sort of a mid-tier player, you kind of play okay, but when you get into the more serious tournaments, you don't do that well, right? Is that such a bad thing? Well, no, honestly. I think one of the great things that's coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, and why it's actually okay to be a bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Player now, is that we're getting alternative formats. So, like Common Charity, GOAT format, all those kind of things, like the Time Wizard list, all those sort of things are actually going to change the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played. Because right now we only have one recognized standard format, and that is the TCG. Obviously there's the OCG as well, but that's a completely different beast, so we're not going to be talking about that. But with the new formats coming into Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's so much easier to get into that part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which you enjoy. Whether it's Common Charity, or the Time Wizard Cup, or GOAT format, or any sort of alternative formats, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game for competitive players. Obviously in each format you're going to have your super competitive players, but honestly, does the goal of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Mean that you have to win every tournament or be the best? Not really. If you've just picked up a structure deck and you want to start playing, you want to play with your friends, you want to do all those things, Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually has a place for that. And that place is, well, everywhere. It's not in the competitive tournaments, but things like EDO Pro, Dueling Book, Dueling Nexus. I know it's sort of a taboo one, but I'm gonna go with it just because free online simulators where you can actually play in whatever format you want with whatever friends you want, or you can play with strangers online, and that's really fun. And now we've got Master Duel, where you can actually build, any deck you want. As long as you grind a little bit, you can actually build something pretty decent. But let's say you want to build something completely niche, not great, whatever. That's fine. Go into a duel room and play your deck out. See how it goes. If you don't win, honestly, that's kind of fine. Like, the big emphasis on the game is winning, but I think if you're a casual player, right? Like a lot of people are. Like most Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are more casual players than they are completely competitive, then I think you should just change your focus a little bit. Enjoy playing the game, enjoy playing the decks. Like a lot of tournaments and a lot of locals will have things like rogue tournaments or budget tournaments. Build what you like, play in those, play with your friends, don't let the competitive scene weigh you down, because honestly, it's not for everyone to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion. I know I'm not one myself, let's just be completely honest there. With Master Duel coming out, I may get a little bit more competitive, but for now I'm taking it slow and just enjoying the game. So yeah, like I'm saying, being bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, well, it's perfectly okay, there's no shame in it. No one said you have to be the best to enjoy a game. I am a very average football player. I still enjoy the game when I play. Not often anymore, let's just be honest there, but I enjoy when I play, you know what I mean? It's the same with any game. If you go in with a competitive focus, put all that effort in, grind, do your thing, learn the strategies, play the game, If all you're looking for is to play a couple of games with your friends and have fun, do that. Realize that you're not going to be a competitive master, but that's okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game for competitive players, and I think it's time that we acknowledge that. And honestly, just realize that with Master Duel now, you can duel with your friends, with friend codes and things like that. And you can play on any platform, so it's not really restricting people. So that's really nice. So I think with this, we've got this first party game coming out now. Take your time, enjoy the game. If you don't want to play meta, if you want to play something whatever you want, honestly, just do it. There's no harm in doing that. There's no problem with playing the game just to enjoy it. It is, after all, a game, right? So there's my take on why it's actually okay to be bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Because honestly, no one's expecting you to become world champion. If you are expecting yourself to be world champion, you should get practicing. That is just, reality. But if you just want to play the game and have some fun, find a deck you find fun, play it. That's it. If it doesn't stack up to the meta decks, well, that is what it is, right? Just play and have fun. That's about it. So, from me, Moose, this game is for everybody, honestly. This game has become far more inclusive in the last few years, and I am excited to see where it's going to go. I think it's going to be fun with alternative formats coming in. I think that was a really good move from Konami. So for now, for me, as someone who was somewhat disillusioned with the game in the last few months and just really wasn't doing that much, I'm excited to see what's coming, and I think you should be too. So whether you are a competitive player, a casual player, someone who's never played before and wants to pick it up, I think now is a good time. So, from me, Moose, hope you're all well, and make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks everyone, see you next time.